Hi everybody, it's Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art, and today we're going to make this lovely little wedding card using Heartfelt Creations, Classic Wedding Wishes, Classic Wedding Roses, Classic Wedding Roses Die, Stress Oxide Lucky Clover, one of the new ones, Antique Linen, and Worn Lipstick, along with a few other things. Let's get started. I have a piece of cardstock on the stamp platform, and these are just my magnets covered in some washi tape so that I can pick them up and move them around. I'm going to put that right in the corner because I will be restamping. It doesn't really matter where this is placed because I'm going to be die cutting this, but I'm just going to put it in the center, pick it up. I'm going to ink it with Distress Oxide Antique Linen because I want it to be rather light colored so it doesn't show through or bother when I do the embossing. And stamp that on. And I'm going to leave my stamp on the pad. I'm going to leave it right where it is. I'm going to color this up after I dry it because the Distress Oxide inks do have pigment ink and dye ink in them. I just want to lie down a little bit of color before I emboss this. So I'm going to be using Distress Worn Lipstick and Distress Oxide Lucky Clover, and I have my Heartfelt Creations Dauber here, which is wonderful for getting into small places, and I'm just putting a hint of the color on the roses. I love this new dauber because it's just the right size to get into some of the small areas and do a quick coloring. So if you're not looking for perfect, if you're going to be die cutting, or if you just want to get into a small spot, these daubers are great. And then I'm just going to switch it to a green one so I can use the Lucky Clover. I love my Tim Holtz blending tool, but when you're just doing small items like this, this is perfect. And again, Lucky Clover is a strong color, but I'm just gonna be putting it on here lightly, trying to create more of a pastelish coloring in the background.
The chase, no time to waste.
This with a little bit of powder. Bring back my stamp tool, my stamp pad. I of course have had this set on rubber up in the left hand corner. You look in the left hand corner, it says rubber on this side, so I've been using this for rubber stamps from Heartfelt. I'm going to ink this up with some Versamark and restamp. Get the embossing powder on, some gold sparkle. And now I'm going to heat it. And now to die cut it. There it is, die cut. Came out very pretty. Using the inks and then embossing afterwards and using the stamp platform helped very much. I also cut out the wedding rings and the congratulations. The die cut actually has a center for the heart, and I'm going to be using that again. I have a 6.5 by 5 card here, and I'm going to be using this paper, which is the back of one of the 12 by 12s for matting, and I'm going to be placing this paper on top. But before I do that, I'm going to figure out approximately where the heart is going to go, and I'm going to mark that with a pencil underneath. So I can't find my X-Acto knife anywhere. I'm just cutting out an approximation of where that hole is going to be, where this die is going to cut, so that there's a little bit less for it to cut. And then I'm going to glue this paper down, and I'm putting the glue around the edges and underneath, but not right where I'm going to be using the die cut. As you can see, at least most of the paper, it won't have to cut 2 layers. And now I'm going to place my center paper on here. And again, where I think the die is going to go, I am not adding glue. I could have inked up the edges, but I'm trying to keep this, although it might not seem that way at the moment, a fairly simple card. Now again, not exact, approximately where I would like it to go. I'm just going to see where that needs to end up. My biggest concern is that I don't end up with a completely sideways heart, although this has lots of different shapes to it, and there's no exact center. I'd like it to be fairly close on. So right about there. That looks pretty good. I'm going to take some washi tape, placing it on the inside so it doesn't tear the exterior where I want the paper to be nice and neat. And I'm going to take this and open it on my die cut machine and see if I can get this cut out. I think I got it all, but I did have to use my Big Shot Plus. So let's see. Yeah, there it comes. Just a little teeny piece right here. And any of those spots where it looks like the layers aren't glued well, I'll just give them some glue now. Alright, so I'm going to glue down the heart. Being careful to place it right where all that die cutting took place. Cover it up. You can see it better through the craft mat. Alright, so that does still add texture and dimension, and it gives us this opening, which is right where I want to place the rings. Alright, I like this one that has a little bit more of a sage to the grayish in color, but still has some of the pretty roses. And some of the roses will show up in the front. And let me see where the rings should go. Just about like that. There we go. So now we have the rings inside. A lovely place to write. After much debate, I decided to just keep it a simple rectangle. Place it slightly off to the side. A little bit modern looking in that it comes to the edge over here. And laying down flat. Okay, there's the finished card. Very simple, very subtle, has texture and layering, cute little peekaboo into the rings, nice place to write your sentiment. And although I could have inked the edges and made the background more prominent, I like the way that this came out. So I got to show you another technique using the stamp platform, in that you can come back and emboss after you've colored instead of going over your embossing, because this embossing had glitter in it. Hope you liked it. Okay, tomorrow, new release from Heartfelt Creations, and I have some more things coming up, including the album. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Until next time, this is Kathy from HuckleberryHerbs and Art. God bless.